Well, praise the Lord, everybody. I didn't do the intro or nothing. Oh well, we ain't do none of that. Yo, today I gotta be brief. Why? Because other stuff's going on. But the Lord told me to do this message, so I gotta get done. Yo, all right. So we're gonna kick this out on the real. My audio's acting crazy. So I say, praise the Lord Jesus Christ, everybody. This is Chris, and Faith is in the background, and we are today. This message God gave me the other day. I want to say Thursday morning is what you doing with what you got. What you doing with what you got. So I want to say it's a critical thing, and a lot of times we don't think about it. I hear people all the time saying, "Hey, I want to be wealthy. I want to do this. I want to do that." Yeah, good morning to you too. God bless you. They say I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. I want to do this. I want to do that. And the question is, what are you doing with what God gave you? There was a story in the Bible. There was a woman who her husband had passed away, and she went to the prophet. She said, my husband we used to hang out with you and your boys. Y'all was cool. He worked with you. He worked for you. And now that he's dead, the creditors come to take away my sons as slaves. And the prophet, his name is Elijah, he said, what you doing with what you got? She said, I ain't got nothing. I don't have anything. So Elijah says, what you got in your house? What do you have? She was like, she thought about it. All I have is, just a little bit of oil in a jar. He says, okay, go collect all the jars in the neighborhood, which tells me there was a shortage of oil. So she tells her sons, hey, y'all, let's go collect this oil. They go collect it. Well, wait a minute, I missed the part. I missed the part. He says to her, fix something for me to eat first. Because all she had was a little bit of meal and the oil. So she obeyed and she gave to the prophet. She gave to the cause that was God's will. So then that's when he gives her the instruction, and then they executed. They went and they collected all the empty vessels from the neighbors. Now you like, that don't make no sense. Yes, it does. See, what happened is everybody was out of oil. The prophet identified a need and told her, look, girl, I need you to go collect these jars. Now, he didn't give her the full instructions. He just said, go collect the jars. Don't get a few of them. Bring as many as you can. So then she gets it. Then he tells her, he says, look, y'all go in the house and I want you to start pouring oil into the empty vessels. Now, I'm pretty sure she cleaned them first. I'm pretty sure she didn't just like not clean the oil. But she took the oil and she started pouring into what was an empty vessel. And it began to fill. And it filled so much till she's like looking at her sons like, hey, bring me another vessel, bring me a vessel. They're like, we don't have any more. Then the prophet says to her, go and sell the oil, pay your debt, and live off the rest. Which means she went from owing to surplus. And it was all about obedience. The first level of obedience was she gave. She sowed into someone else's need. Genesis 8:22 says, as long as the earth remained, seed, time, and harvest. Which tells it didn't say harvest first. It said seed. So you got to sow something. You got to sow something. And then the next word in that was time. So seed, time, and harvest. It didn't say seed, time, and harvest time. It said seed, time, and harvest. Which means between the seed, there's going to be a period of time, and then you reap the harvest. God didn't give you a get-rich-quick scheme. He said seed, sow, time, then harvest. Now, in the story, what had happened was, once she sowed, he gave her a plan. He didn't give her the full plan, but he gave her a plan. And that plan is Go collect the empty jars from your neighbors. So she had an option. She could have been like, well, I'm not going to collect these empty jars. That don't make any sense, Mr. Prophet. I done gave you my cake, and now you tripping, talking about go collect the... she had to do some work. That's the problem with a lot of us. We want to be wealthy, but we don't want to work. All right, so we got to work. We got to put the work in. Well, I have faith that God's going to do this. He said, what were your works? I have faith God's going to bless me with a job. But you sit at the house chilling every day. No, get out and go do something. Because they couldn't just sit at home and play video games all day and be like, well, God's going to just cause these jars to magically come to the house. No, go get them. And you got to get past your fear of what people think, because you're going to collect empty jars. Oh, you trash crew? Say what you want. I'm just doing what God said. I'm collecting these empty jars. The next thing is, then the prophet gives her the next part of the plan. That's another thing. God's not going to give you all the plans. He's going to give you an instruction. Then once you follow that instruction, he gives you the next instruction. Then when you follow that instruction, he gives you the next instruction. But it's up to you to follow the instructions. Because if you don't follow the instructions, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself as to why you're in the situation you're in. Let's say God tells you to start on your business plan, or he tells you to write out the vision, or he tells you whatever he tells you. If you don't do it, it ain't his fault. It's yours. So the question is, what are you doing with the time you got? What are you doing with the resources you got? Are we taking our resources and going and buying shoes? Buying stuff we really can live without? Because we wanna be wealthy, but we have a poverty mindset. Oh, because we saw somebody on YouTube, or we saw somebody flaunting whatever these expensive shoes called. We saw somebody else flaunting, so we go buy them, but we barely paying rent. There's a problem with that. The guys who you see who bought it, a lot of them actually own stock in the company, which means they've invested in it. But if you got no stock in the company, all you got is some lint in your pocket because you looking fly. That's out of order. Don't fake it till you make it. Make it and then live it. Y'all heard me. I remember the church telling me to fake it till you make it. That is so not scriptural. God didn't fake the world and then make the world. He made the world. He said, "Let there be light on a dark situation." He didn't like, oh, well, let me see how I can fake this and make this. No, he did it. And that's the thing. We have to do what we say. We have to do what he says. Then we can make happen what he says to make happen. Y'all, that's my wife about to earn. So, y'all, I just want to drop this word on you. This is going to be a little series. So you'll get the next part of it next Saturday, maybe a little before. I ain't making no promises. But the thing is, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing with what you got? Because if you're taking the talent God gives you and you're sowing, you're basically putting it in the ground and you're hiding it, you can't expect to prosper. It's not until you sow what you have. It's not until you sow into others. It's not until you take that talent and give it will you prosper. We have to use what God gives us. And when we begin to use what God gives us, then and only then will you prosper and have good success. So for today, this is Chris. I'm signing off. God bless y'all. Stay encouraged. And remember, whatever God gives you, do something with it. Use it. Peace.